Guys, please subscribe if you're watching this and you haven't already and you like what you see. Let's discuss what's going on around the ring. And the only thing I wanted to bring up today was officially made. Dustin Poirier's final fight versus Max Holloway coming up. Oh, man, I want to say it's in July at some point.
I think the end of June.
Gets it right in his hometown, too. Cool experience for him. A great way to go out against a great opponent with a great fighting style. He has a great record. He's 2-0 against Max. I don't think 3 times the charm, though. I think it is for Max. I think Max will probably win that. We'll talk about that as we get closer, but what are your thoughts on the fight?
I know it's not exactly what Dustin was looking for, someone he's already beaten twice. He wanted to fight Ilya, he wanted to fight Gaethje because him and Gaethje were 1-1. That one probably would have been the one that made the most sense. But the UFC knows Max's game to always put on a good fight. This is for the BMF belt, so Dustin could win and retire with the belt. Yeah. And also, like, Max and Dustin are cool. Like, they're very respectful of one another. And the last fight they put on was great. So this one, I'm with you. I think it'll be a little bit different. Max has shown when he fought Gaethje that, given the time to put the weight on at 155, he hits a little bit different, which I don't think was the case the last time. So I'm looking forward to it, even though I definitely don't want either guy to lose.
So it should be a good fight. I think Max will win this time. Could be a decision, could be a finish. Who knows? And you never know. Poirier is going to be in his home crowd. He's going to be rowdy. He'll be looking to get this. He'll be on his game. So we'll see what happens. This past weekend, UFC Fight Night, Ian Garry versus Carlos
Prates.
Co-main event.
Mingyang Zhang.
Mingyang Zhang. Thank you.
Versus Anthony Smith.
Mingyang Zhang. He put that work on him early, round 1. Great elbows. He was hitting him with elbows, opened him up. Smith was a bloody mess. Not much to say here. Mingyang gets round 1 TKO finish. It's quite a sight, though. There was some fan that was antagonizing Anthony Smith, and they were in Nebraska, and he's from Nebraska, and you just see him blood, and he's giving this guy the finger.
After he just got beat up, he's trying to start stuff with the crowd. And
Mingyang was like, "Easy, brother, don't do this."
That's a classless move from that fan, by the way. Wearing a Nebraska shirt in Anthony's hometown, and then, he's hometown, but Nebraska, and then just flipping him off after he just got TKO'd and retired. Like,
right.
Don't be a piece of shit, But
anyway, great video tribute the UFC set up for Anthony Smith. You said they probably would have one going. You were right. Nice job. I had Jelly Roll there talking about how Anthony Smith is one of his favorite fighters, which I know he is. And I know. I remember that from before when Jelly Roll showed up. But it had a great song. It fit for Anthony Smith, and it worked out. I thought he was funny. He's like, I did that shit. So good on Anthony. He'll be great in the booth. Hey, all things considered, although he wasn't a champion in the UFC, he had a fairly good career. Not many people have as many fights or have got to fight for the title like he has when you think about how many people compete in MMA. So good on him.
Right, and he did fight for a title and could have won the title from John Jones via disqualification and basically didn't puss out, and good sportsmanship on his part. Wish he didn't do that, in fact, and took the title from John Jones. But he's a real man, and he did what he should have done. So good on him. But good career. Definitely a salty record, but he's been doing it a really long time. Just loads and loads of fights. Yeah, he has like over 50 fights. So
I think it's something I heard when I was younger. Someone talking about in MMA. If you're undefeated at this point, you're probably fighting the wrong people. Is what somebody said early on. Now I think you try to protect the fighter, but I get what they're saying. Just Anthony Smith fought like everybody.
Yeah. There's no dodging anyone, even on the regional scene. He had tons of fights before he came to the UFC. So
Ian Garry defeats Carlos Prates. Prates Fighting Nerds. We called this one. We said that Ian Garry would probably just a little higher level MMA IQ against one of the Fighting Nerds, which we know like the Fighting Nerds have been awesome, and they're all about MMA IQ. Their game plans have been, everybody in that team has been on fire. This gym has been on fire. So, but Ian Garry's a big step up, and we're just seeing the way he fought, like just the way he's beaten people like Neil Magny, and the way his only loss being a Shavkat on short notice, where he fought a really close fight. Now, I will say to Patrice's credit here, he never worn down. And that was something we wonder about is in round 4 or 5, how he's going to be. Opposite, he came on strong in round 5, and he was really putting it on him. I know Gerry, kind of played it off, but I mean, I don't know. I'm not saying that he would have got the finish, but it was interesting with those last 20, 30 seconds or whatever it was in that fight. And he caught him a little bit at the end of round 4 too. But that was super towards the end of the round. So, great showing by Ian Garry. Prates, he'll be back. But Ian Garry's got a 3-fight plan. He said he's the backup fight for the upcoming welterweight championship fight. And he's believing, he's going to manifest it, that he'll end up fighting Bilal for the title. He thinks he'll win that. And he thinks Islam Makhachev is going to come up, and he thinks he'll win that. And then he thinks he'll fight Shavkat again and try to avenge that loss. I don't know if any of this is going to happen, but I do find it interesting that much like Conor McGregor, he tries to talk a lot of these things into existence. He manifests it. To me right now, he's almost like Conor McGregor without all the drugs and the alcohol. So we'll see how it works out.
Conor wasn't on all the drugs and the alcohol at this point in his career. So don't worry, Ian Garry can get there. Stick with it, champ.
Yes. Anything else? I know you didn't really see it. Was anything you heard you want to cover, or are we good with this card?
No, I'm good with this card, I think.
So am I. All right, let's get to it. Said Hagen versus Figueiredo. Should be a fun fight. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We will be here next week, and we'll see you at the fights.